Now, I'm curious to know what the market thinks about the president's plan. He says he wants to bring 6 to 12 state-owned enterprises to the NSE in the next 12 months. What are your thoughts? Is it too ambitious?
Many thanks, Uche. In the run-up to the general elections, one of the promises that the president made was they wanted to return the economy to where it was during the President Mwai Kibaki. And at that time, there was a lot of listing at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. So there is a sense of excitement to that extent. However, I think it is important to note that at that time, interest rates were very low. But if you look at the situation right now, bond yields are very high. And anytime bond yields are very high, equities become less attractive. So to the extent that will be successful remains to be seen.
Now, we also saw President Ruto criticizing a privatization law. He actually said there will be a review of the legislation going forward, at least in the first 100 days. Now, given that the last successful privatization by the government that we saw was Safaricom's IPO in 2008, what really do you think is behind the delays we've seen in the listings of state-owned enterprises?
Well, I think the answer to that is largely in the political economy realm. If you look at an entity like the Kenya Ports Authority, it wields significant power within the coast and the coastal politics. So rarely do governments want to release that kind of power. And I think that's been the reason why there has been that hesitation to be able to maintain the political capital that comes with owning those kind of entities.
Now, we also saw him encourage the private sector to follow suit and list. But I'd like to get your take on the fact that there has been an IPO drought at the NSE. In about 8 years, we haven't seen a major IPO. Why has the Nairobi Stock Exchange struggled to find new listings?
Well, I think if you look at most of the startups scenes within the city, within Nairobi and the rest of the country, there seems to be more of a preference for venture capital financing. I guess because it maintains the privacy of the business model that maybe sometimes is not available in a publicly listing entity. So you find most entrepreneurs prefer to be within those VC or PE spaces because of the confidentiality. And I think that's what's been driving it.
Well, on the other end, is there investor appetite for equities in Kenya's market right now? Because we've seen the all share pretty much dropping about 24% since the beginning of this year. So what are your thoughts on appetite?
Yeah, I think appetite will be low anytime, as I said, bond yields are high. The opportunity cost for holding equities is quite high. And not just in Kenya, globally. As we are seeing bond yields go up, investors prefer to lock their money within those government securities and equities become less attractive. So I don't expect Kenya to be any different. So I think timing might be the problem here.